Ever wondered why we knock on wood when we mention good fortune? This seemingly strange tradition has quite a fascinating history, rooted in the spiritual practices of many ancient cultures from Ireland to India and beyond. Before the advent of modern religions with their stringent rules about idolatry, many pagan groups held trees in high esteem. These trees were not just part of the landscape, they were living, breathing entities, worshipped and revered, and sometimes even mythologized. Some cultures used trees as oracles, others incorporated them into their worship rituals, and some, like the ancient Celts, regarded these towering giants of nature as the homes of certain spirits and gods. As we delve deeper into this intriguing custom, authors Stefan Bechtel and Deborah Aaronson offer two possible connections between knocking on wood and these ancient tree spirits in their respective books, The Good Luck Book and Luck, the Essential Guide. The first theory suggests that the phrase knock on wood is a more modern equivalent of the racket that pagan Europeans would create to chase away evil spirits from their homes. This noise was also intended to prevent these spirits from hearing about and subsequently ruining a person's good fortune. Imagine it as a sort of spiritual spoiler alert, if you will. The other proposed origin takes us to the heart of these tree-worshipping rituals. It is suggested that believers would lay their hands on a tree when asking for favor from the spirits or gods residing within. Following a run of good luck, they would touch the tree and express their gratitude. Over the centuries, this religious rite may have morphed into the superstitious knock we're familiar with today, a knock that acknowledges luck and aims to keep it going. In both scenarios, the knocking serves as a protective measure against envy and anger. Bechtel wrote, "The envy of evil spirits and the anger of the gods, who take a dim view on mortals bearing too much pride, and who get especially annoyed when they're responsible for your run of good luck and you're not grateful." So, the first possible origin of the phrase knock on wood is that it was a way to chase away evil spirits or prevent them from ruining a person's good luck. But how did this tree-worshipping practice evolve into knocking on wood, you might ask? Well, let's delve into the second suggested origin and explore the fascinating transformation of this tradition. Picture this. Ancient tree worshippers, in their quest for divine favor, would gently lay their hands on the bark of a tree. These were not just any trees, mind you, but special ones believed to house powerful spirits or gods. This act of touching was a way to connect, to establish an intimate link with the divine. Over time, as these worshippers experienced streaks of good luck, they came to attribute their fortune to the benevolent spirits or gods residing within the trees they had touched. Out of gratitude, they would return to the tree, this time not just touching, but knocking on its sturdy trunk. This was a heartfelt thank you, an acknowledgement of the divine favor they believed they had received. As centuries rolled on, this religious rite began to change. It transformed from the touching of trees to the knocking on wood, but the core sentiment remained the same, to acknowledge luck and keep it going. It was no longer about directly seeking favor from the spirits or gods living in trees, but rather about acknowledging the role of a higher power in our good fortune. Now you might think, well, that's a pretty big leap from tree touching to wood knocking. And you'd be right. But remember, traditions evolve, often in ways that might seem strange or disconnected from their original practice. The knocking on wood we know today is a result of centuries of cultural evolution, taking a kernel of an ancient practice and adapting it to fit our modern world. So the next time you knock on wood, remember its roots. It's more than just a quirky superstition. It's a centuries-old practice of acknowledging and appreciating the good luck we've been given. In either case, knocking on wood is seen as seeking protection against envy and anger, especially from the spirits or gods. It's a humble nod to the forces that we believe shape our destiny. But did you know there's another theory that suggests a completely different origin? Let's travel back to the Victorian era, specifically to the playful world of children's games. One game that was popular during this time was Tig Touchwood. Intriguing, isn't it? Here's how it worked. A player, designated as Tig, was it, and the goal was to avoid being tagged by this person. To do so, the other players would have to touch, or in some cases knock, on a chosen tree. This tree acted as a safe haven, a shield if you will, from Tig. As long as a player was touching one of these chosen trees, they were immune from being it. The only chance Tig had to tag another player was when they were moving from one safe tree to another. Now you might be wondering, how does a Victorian children's game connect with our topic? While some believe that the phrase knock on wood could have originated from this game, it's easy to see why. The act of touching or knocking on wood in the game provided protection, much like the belief that knocking on wood wards off bad luck or evil spirits. However, it's important to remember that this is just one theory among many. The truth is, the origins of knocking on wood are shrouded in mystery, and it's likely that the practice evolved from a combination of traditions, beliefs, and even games over centuries. But whether its roots lie in ancient tree worship, pagan practices to ward off evil spirits, or a Victorian-era game, one thing is for sure: the act of knocking on wood, whether literal or just spoken, is ingrained in many cultures as a means to keep good luck going and to ward off any potential bad fortune. While the origins of knocking on wood may vary, the common thread is the belief in the protective power of this simple act. So, what have we learned about why we knock on wood? Well, we've delved into the roots of this intriguing tradition, unearthing its possible origins in pagan Europe, where the ruckus raised was meant to chase away evil spirits or prevent them from spoiling a person's good luck. We've also discovered that some tree worshippers might have knocked on wood to seek favors or express gratitude to the spirits or gods residing within the trees. Then we've explored the evolution of this practice over centuries, transforming from a religious rite into a superstitious knock, acknowledging luck and warding off envy and anger. Moreover, we've touched upon the possibility that the phrase, knock on wood, could stem from a Victorian-era children's game called Tig Touchwood, adding another intriguing layer to this rich tapestry of theories. While the true origins may remain a mystery, one thing is clear: knocking on wood is a tradition deeply rooted in